When my dad left home when I was 3, he didn't leave much for Ma and me, just his old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now I don't blame him 'cause he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. He must have thought it was quite a joke and got a lot of laughs from lots of folk. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Well, some guy would giggle and I'd turn red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard and my wits got keen, roaming from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars, I'd search all the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that gave me that awful name. It was Gatlinburg in mid-July and I'd just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at the table dealing stud, sat the dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn out picture that my mother had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and grey and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue, how do you do? Now you're gonna die." Yep, that's what I told him. Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he came up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. Then I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the wall and into the street, a kicking and a gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. Well, I heard him laugh and I heard him cuss, and he reached for his gun, but I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me and I saw him smile. And he said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gotta make it, he's gotta be tough." And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye, and I knew you'd have to get tough or die. It's that name that's helped to make you strong. Yeah. He said, "Now you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in the guts and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the that named you Sue." Yeah, what could I do? What could I do? I got all choked up and I threw down my gun. I caught him my pa and he called me his son, and I come away with a different point of view. And I think about him now and then, and every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I think I'll name him Bill or George, anything but Sue. I still hate that name.